Have you ever really stopped to think about what's powering you right now, from lifting your coffee cup to the constant silent rhythm of your heart? Well, it's all driven by one of the most incredible biological machines out there, muscular tissue. And today, we're going to pop the hood and see how this amazing engine really works.
All right, here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with the big picture, what our muscles do for us. Then, we'll zoom all the way down to the microscopic level, right into the engine room. After that, we'll pull back out to meet the 3 different types of muscle, and finally, we'll wrap it all up by talking about why this matters to you.
So first up, let's just establish how absolutely fundamental this stuff is. I mean, it's not just about flexing in the mirror. It's about the very business of being alive.
Seriously, think about it for a second. The force that gets you out of bed, the subtle constant work that keeps you sitting upright right now, even that shiver when you get cold, it all comes from one place, and that place is your muscles.
You know, our muscles are absolute masters of multitasking. Their first job, the really obvious one, is movement. And that's everything from you choosing to walk across the room to the involuntary beat of your heart. Second, they're responsible for your posture, constantly making these tiny adjustments you don't even notice. And third, they literally create heat. Ever get the shivers? That's just your muscles firing up to keep your body temperature right where it needs to be.
Okay, so we know what they do. Now for the really cool part. How are they built? We're going to peel back the layers and take a little journey deep inside a muscle.
Okay, so check this out. Think of a whole muscle as a really powerful rope that's attached to the bone. But if you look closer, it's not one solid thing. It's actually made of many smaller ropes, or bundles, called fascicles. It's a lot like a massive electrical cable that's made of thousands of smaller insulated wires all wrapped together.
So this is the key thing to get. It's this nested structure like Russian dolls. You have the big muscle on the outside. You look inside that, you find bundles called fascicles. And you look inside a fascicle, and that's where you find the individual muscle fibers. And these fibers, these are the actual muscle cells themselves.
And now we're going even deeper. If the muscle fiber is the factory, we're now heading down to the assembly line, to the actual engine room, where all the real work gets done. Just take a look at this. Inside every single one of those muscle fibers we just talked about, it's absolutely packed with these things, myofibrils. These are the engines. These long cylindrical structures are what do the actual pulling, the contracting.
And these little engines run on 2 key proteins, actin and myosin. Now, the easiest way to picture this is to think of the thin actin filaments as ropes. The thick myosin filaments are these little motors with tiny heads that reach out, grab the actin ropes, and pull. That's it. That pulling motion, when it's repeated by millions of these motors, is what makes the whole muscle get shorter.
And this image just shows you how perfectly organized it all is. This beautiful repeating pattern of actin and myosin, that's a sarcomere. You can see it stretches from one of those zigzaggy Z-discs to the next. Every single movement you will ever make starts right here, in this tiny microscopic unit.
So, to put a fine point on it, the sarcomere is the basic building block of a muscle contraction. When thousands of these tiny units shorten all at once, the whole muscle fiber contracts. And when millions of fibers do that, you move. It's just a stunning piece of engineering, turning microscopic action into real-world force.
Okay, deep breath. We've gone as deep as we can. Let's start zooming back out. Because while that basic engine is pretty much the same across the board, your body customizes it into 3 very different types of muscle tissue, each with its own personality, you could say.
And here they are all lined up. Take a look. On the right, that's skeletal muscle, the kind attached to your bones. See how it has those long striped fibers? In the middle is cardiac muscle, which you'll only find in the heart. Notice it's also striped, but the fibers are branched and interconnected. That helps them all beat together. And on the left is smooth muscle, which lines your organs. You can see it's missing those stripes entirely. These visual cues tell us a lot about what they're built to do.
This chart breaks down the big differences perfectly. Skeletal muscle, it's striated, it's under your voluntary control, but it gets tired. Smooth muscle, that's non-striated and totally involuntary. It just works away slowly in the background. And cardiac muscle, it's kind of a hybrid. It's striated, but it's involuntary. And here's the most important part, it's basically fatigueless. It's built to just go and go and go forever. So let's give them some nicknames to make it stick. Skeletal muscle, that's the workhorse. It does all the powerful stuff you choose to do. Smooth muscle is the silent operator, working behind the scenes, keeping all your internal systems running.
And cardiac muscle, well, that's the tireless drummer, keeping that steady, rhythmic beat for your entire life without ever needing a break.
So, we've gone from the big picture down to the microscopic and all the way back out again. But what's the big takeaway? Why does understanding all this complex biology actually matter?
Well, it really means that right now inside you, there are two incredible power grids running at the same time. The first grid is the one you control. It's powered by trillions of those tiny protein engines, and it lets you walk and talk and interact with the world. But the second grid, that one's completely automated. It's your silent life support system working tirelessly to pump your blood and move your food, keeping you alive without a single conscious command. It's just this amazing partnership happening inside of you all the time. And that just leaves us with one final, fascinating question to chew on. We know our skeletal muscles get tired, but the cardiac muscle, your heart, it contracts powerfully every single second of every single day for decades. So what is it about this one unique muscle that makes it so utterly, unbelievably tireless? Well, that's a story for another day. Thanks for watching.